He now works with me frequently in England and the US. He likes pressing. Want to click Got Talent? Why? Since it's loud and irritating, right? Yes. Simon Cowell married and had a son named Eric after an affair with a close friend's wife. Many things have changed since Eric was born. His age is 10. Even if Simon says Eric's birth altered him. Despite his wealth, he wouldn't purchase him a Ferrari. Never named him after himself. Everyone is stunned by Simon Cowell's son's choice about his father today. Simon, do you like leading? How does this describe the judge's desk man? Join us as we explain this surprising revelation. How Eric transformed Cowell. Simon Cowell, the tough America's Got Talent judge, is happiest when his son Eric makes him happy. Simon has opened up to his fans after he and now fiancée Lauren Silverman had Eric on Valentine's Day 2014. Since I'd do what my dad did, everyone should get something free. I would make him an intern to learn the ropes. But I adore the idea that he might do this or something like one day. As a father, according to him, fatherhood altered everything. Simon naturally named his son after his late father, Eric Cowell, who shaped his life. He wants to bond with his dad like he did as a child. Simon's publicist, Max Clifford, announced it shortly after Eric's birth. What happened with this friendship? Returned to discover out. He wanted to provide his son the same trustworthy, affectionate, and secure relationship as his mother. It's family-friendly. The closeness with his parents comforted him. Clifford stated they were really close. Risks and standards are high worldwide. Simon has always known that family love protects him. Eric seemed to save Simon when he arrived. He's admitted that job dominated his life before Eric. His passion for his presentations, drive for success, and focus were well recognized. However, the narrow outlook left little room for other things. Without Eric, who knows what would have occurred? Told his son the truth. Eric, however, transformed everything. He provided his father balance, purpose, and joy. Simon declared, "Being a dad is the best thing that's ever happened to me." This transformation was crucial. Eric has also given me strength in hard times. Eric, may I inquire? Our great-great-grandmother? Penguin. Absolutely not. Simon's downward spiral began in 2015 after his mother died. When I called, I sensed trouble. I was astonished when she informed me when I called back. I honestly assumed my parents would live forever at that moment. I mean that. On a CEO podcast diary in 2024, he was honest. Telling Eric that he no longer cared. I know Eric saved me. Eric remarked, I really had reached the point where nothing mattered in a world where he had practically everything and could purchase anything. Love and connection are worth more than money. Eric matured beyond Simon's son. Taught him. Funny how he felt horrible about himself and his PC. Eric, 10, holds his dad accountable, notably for Simon's smoking. He is strict. Simon joked with extra. How's Eric the kid? He's okay. Return to Mo. I'm putting him down to say, in a few years you should be doing what daddy does, he'll adjust. Getting caught will feel like going back to school. He teaches. Simon hid behind the bushes to smoke while Eric watched, which was humorous. Simon nearly quit due of Eric's continual watchfulness. Their friendship has impacted Simon's life in ways he never imagined. Their friendship is so strong they now do art. Simon enjoyed combining his world with his son's to create a set of children's books that showed how much they love storytelling and making up stories. Their friendship continues. They enjoy discussing sports together. Eric has expressed his desire to join his dad's career as a rock band drummer and perhaps audition for Britain's Got Talent. It will be like the fiercest critic clapping for his son on the stage where he became famous. Simon has contemplated having more children. He told his kid, just 2 days ago I was thinking it would be nice to have another. It's a big turnaround for someone who thought his life was too hectic to be a dad. Eric, a child, has taught his dad the value of being present, connecting, and having a life outside of work. Simon Cowell is a tough judge on TV, but with his kid, everyone sees a different side. So he learns, loves, and maybe even steals a puff or two behind the hedges to be the dad he always wanted. Depriving Eric of pleasures given Simon's affluence, it may be surprising that he willfully denies his son some pleasures and rights, a choice many may find hard to understand. Simon is a music industry powerhouse. His predicted $600 million net worth and $95 million income make him rich. If he had that much money, he could give his son unlimited luxury and wealth. No, Simon doesn't spoil his son. He emphasizes a Julie, his mother rule. Manners define a man, not simply a nice Simon saying. Since age 2, his son Eric has learned this code. No idea. How does Eric feel about his dad's traditional beliefs? While learning humility and respect, the youngster watches his pals play with the latest toys and modern gadgets and not care. Eric may ask strange questions, you can practically hear them. Why can't I enjoy things like everyone else? Simon's style reveals how he connected with his father, who gave him career-changing advice. Simon told an event for Advertising Week Europe that his father had told him, everyone has a sign on their head that says, "Make me feel important." He didn't quite get it at first. But Simon started to understand that those words were wise over time. It taught him that recognizing the importance of others in every situation builds trust and respect. Now Simon is teaching Eric this value in the hopes that it will help him stay grounded in the exciting possibilities of a fortunate life. There was an important moment. Eric was about 4 years old when Simon saw how his lessons had helped other people. Simon looked at his son Eric and said, "I'm very proud of you, Eric, even though it's a touching moment." You have to wonder if Eric fully understood how proud his dad was. For a 4-year-old, these lessons may seem vague, but Simon is sure that these small acts of kindness and respect. You could spend the rest of your life on a desert island with either me or your mother. Who would you choose? Are the building blocks of a normal life, even when you're famous and rich? It's interesting that Simon isn't the only one who thinks this way. Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, has a similar view on how to raise children. So it worries me she told The Cut in 2022. But I'm also filled with a lot of hope and energy by the progress we've made in the past year, and by having these amazing parents and survivors of this experience share their stories. We can keep learning because of it. She said that she was determined to teach her son Archie good manners. She said that they keep telling him, good manners make a man over and over again until it becomes second nature to him. But Meghan's plan is more than just manners. She and Prince Harry teach Archie about the different lives of other people and how some don't have the same comforts he does. This helps him understand how thankful he should be. They get Archie involved in good deeds by putting together kits with water, peanut butter crackers, and breakfast bars to give to people who are less fortunate. Archie is happy to say, "I ate one," which is a great story from that interview. Even though Simon and Meghan have a lot of money, they both feel driven to teach their kids to be humble and caring. They may know that in a world full of wealth and luxury, it's important to teach their kids to value others and help others. What do you think will happen when Eric gets older? Kids are naturally good at noticing things, and Eric will probably figure out the nice things his family could afford but decides not to have. A big name in the music business like his father might make him wonder why he is so strict. Is he going to feel deprived? Or like his father, will he learn to see the greater lesson in these lessons and value them more than the short-term thrills that money can buy? It might take years for these questions to be answered, but Simon's choice to teach his son to value manners and respect over material things could have a huge impact on Eric's personality. He is being calm and steady right now, which is a message from Simon to his son. True worth isn't based on what you own, but on how you treat other people and how strong your character is. Another thing is that Eric might one day understand how much his father has given him in the form of knowledge as well as money. That's not all, though. Through a long history of generous giving, even though Cowell's worth $600 million, he has made it clear that his main goal is not to get rich, but to use his money to help others. He is committed to this because he believes in values like kindness and modesty, which he tries to teach his son Eric and doesn't want to spoil by giving him a huge fortune. Instead, Cowell gives his money to causes that are in line with his beliefs, mostly ones that help kids and animals. One of the most important things Cowell has done is help kids who are having serious health problems. Please, I beg you, do something for Chase. There are several ways to do this. You can do it by being aware of it. You only need to visit to do it. If you want to help Chase, you can give money, raise money, tell your friends, or just go down and meet the kids, staff, and families. It's really a good idea to do it. For example, he has supported the group Together for Short Lives for a long time. This group helps kids who have diseases that will not allow them to live long. Cowell's involved in more ways than just giving money. He takes an active role in charity events. He's even gone on TV telethons to help raise money while singing. His kindness also goes to disabled children because he supports the Variety Club, an organization that helps poor kids. The group recently gave him the Exceptional Generosity in Philanthropy Award to show their appreciation for his work. The winner this year is a giant of TV who has shown a lot of kindness in their giving. A huge number of people look up to him, and he's pretty much the only live show business legend we have. His name is Simon Cowell, celebrating not only the money he gave, but also his dedication to making millions of people's lives better. Cowell also cares deeply about the well-being of animals. He has always cared about dogs and other animals, and he has given a lot of money to animal groups, including ones that work to save dogs from bad situations and give them a safe place to live. His large gift to the Humane Society International, for example, has helped shut down dog meat farms, saving hundreds of dogs from being mistreated. These gifts show a kinder side of Cowell and show that he is willing to use his fame to advocate for animals in need. Maybe Cowell wants to teach his son good values by doing these charitable things, values that stress giving back over getting something for yourself. Doing all of these things, though, begs the question of whether Simon is a control freak. The solutions will be interesting to you whether Simon is a control freak or not. Simon Cowell's parenting style is largely based on how he was raised in Elstree, Hertfordshire. He is honest about trying to give his son Eric the same childhood he had, though with some current changes. Simon does agree, though, that things are different now. He remembers that his parents always pushed him to work, even when he was young, saying that he had to do things like wash cars when he was about 8 years old. He agrees that this model doesn't quite work for Eric because he can't really send Eric out to ask people if they want their cars washed. Simon has trouble understanding Eric's hobbies sometimes, especially when they are different from his own. It surprises him that Eric actually likes school, he has said. Eric has said that he likes to learn. Simon says it wasn't what he expected, which makes him both pleased and confused by the difference. Cowell also kind of jokes that he wants Eric to take over his media business one day, which makes it sound like he's preparing Eric for the role. Even though Simon says it in a casual way, this comment hints at a small push for Eric to follow in his father's path. It's interesting that Simon thought about calling Eric after himself, which he now seems to find funny. According to the news reports, he even asked Eric if he would rather be called Simon. Eric replied with his own name, which made Simon laugh. In hindsight, Simon said that naming his son after himself might have been too much, and Eric's mother, Lauren, finally turned down the idea. Later, he agreed that it was the right choice, saying that for a young child, having both the family last name and the first name Simon would have been too much. As Eric gets older, Simon's worries as a dad get bigger. He says that stress and bullying are two of his biggest fears. He said that kids today are under a lot of stress because of homework and school pressure, and he wants to spare Eric as much stress as possible. The thing that worries him the most, though, is being picked on by other kids. He said that the thought of Eric being picked on scares him, and he also said that he doesn't think he could handle it if it did happen. After thinking about what Simon said, it's clear that he does try to control his son. He does not force his own goals on Eric, but he does train him to be more like him in some ways. Maybe even Simon himself would agree that he is a bit of a control freak. But the truth is that even he probably knows that it's impossible to have full control over parenting. Simon gave Eric a rare look into his personal life by talking about these fears and hopes. This was an unusual move for him, especially since this interview happened at the same time as his latest advertising relationship, a work with Barclaycard. This look shows us a father who, despite his fame and wealth, has the same worries and hopes as all parents. Simon Cowell is right to be worried that his son Eric will be bullied because of his family's fame and wealth. Many children of famous people have openly dealt with similar problems. Here are a few well-known cases that show Simon's fear is real. Brooklyn Beckham, who is the son of soccer star David Beckham and fashion designer Victoria Beckham, has been bullied because of how famous and rich his family is. As a teen, Brooklyn got a lot of mean comments on social media where people questioned his job choices and called him spoiled or entitled. People online and in the media often picked on him for being a Napo baby and said he was getting ahead because of his parents' fame instead of his own skills. The constant criticism and close attention got so bad that he sometimes removed social media to hide from the bad attention. That's not all, though. Lily Rose Depp, who is the daughter of Johnny Depp and Vanessa Paradis, was also picked on because she came from a wealthy family. People who thought she was unfairly benefiting from her parents' success started to go after her as she pursued acting and modeling. Some even said she got roles and chances just because of her last name. Later, she talked about the pressure and abuse she was under, saying that the constant attention and scrutiny from the public made it hard for her to find her own identity. Plus, Paris Jackson wasn't left out either. People are always interested in Paris Jackson's life because she is the daughter of Michael Jackson, who is one of the most famous musicians of all time. She has talked about how both her friends and the media picked on her. People teased and spoke badly about her as a child because of her famous, wealthy, and controversial father. Paris has said that she had mental health problems, which were partly caused by the bullying and the huge amount of pressure that came with being Michael Jackson's daughter. These examples show how hard it is for kids whose parents are famous or rich to figure out who they are and how to get along with their peers. Because they are often the center of attention, they face jealousy, judgment, and unrealistic demands. This is why Simon is right to worry about Eric's social life at school. In Simon's case, his public image and media company are likely to make Eric more well-known, which could lead to bullying or exclusion from his peers who may see him differently because of his background. Even though Simon's relationship with his fiancée and son seems to be going well, it is interesting to note that it started out in a shocking way, and the details will surprise you. A stuck-up start, Simon Cowell and Lauren Silverman's relationship got off to a rough start, but it has since turned into a story of love, strength, and loyalty. They met at the fancy Sandy Lane Resort in Barbados in 2004. Lauren was on holiday with her real estate mogul husband at the time, Andrew Silverman. Andrew and Simon became friends, but it was said that Simon was attracted to Lauren from the start. Even though Simon liked Lauren, he kept going out with other women, like TV reporter Terry Seymour and makeup artist Meghan Husseini. His engagement to Mezgin from 2010 to 2011 was even more of a sign that he wasn't fully committed. He later said it was a big mistake. Simon got back together with Lauren, a New York lady who always made him feel at ease, after 2 breakups. They started seeing each other in secret while Lauren was still married. Things like this were kept secret until 2013, when Lauren got pregnant with Simon's child. When this came out, everyone knew about their romance, and Andrew asked for a divorce, saying that she was cheating on him. One very important thing had to be done before the divorce was finalized in November 2013. Sean couldn't be near Adam, Lauren and Andrew's young son, until January 2015, or he would have to pay a $50,000 fine. His life was about to change, though, when his son was born. On February 14, 2014, Lauren gave birth to their boy Eric. She named him after Simon's dad. Simon changed in ways he hadn't expected after becoming a dad. That being a dad changed him, he told Daily Mail. That wasn't something he thought would happen. In the beginning, he told fun stories. He wasn't sure if Eric liked him a lot tonight. A lot of himself could be seen in Eric, being a little naughty and good at getting away with things. Simon then thought about whether having another child would make things even better. He told Extra that he thought it would be cool to have 2 or even 3 kids. As the family got closer, especially as Eric and Adam became more like brothers, this idea grew. Simon asked Lauren to marry him on Christmas Eve 2021, which was a very touching moment, on a beach with Eric and Adam. After the fact, Simon told Entertainment Tonight that Eric had helped plan the proposal, which made it even more special. They haven't told anyone about their wedding plans yet, but Simon has said that he wants a small, simple service. He joked with his son that he'd rather not go to a big, crazy event because he remembered that his 50th birthday party was a bit too fancy. He is planning the wedding himself to keep it simple and to surprise Lauren with the date and time. People who know Simon and Lauren well aren't surprised at how well they've stayed together. A friend said that they love each other and have stayed close through good times and bad. Simon has been hurt very badly, like when he broke his back in a bike crash in 2020. Then there was another accident like that in early 2022, but Lauren has always been there for him and helped him through everything. So, do you think Simon is a control freak or that everything he does is for Eric's good? Tell us in the comments, please like this video, share it with your friends and family, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss our next videos. If you want to see more fun videos, click the next one on your screen.